30 seconds. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we shall commence. Commence means begin, O'Driscoll. That's what commence means. All right, guys, keep the legs moving. We're on our own power on this one. No ERG. Good tempo work, nothing too insane. A lot of us have a fast, hard run tomorrow. So we're not going to bury you on this one. You're still going to get some good strength work, some good resiliency, some good muscular tension throughout. We're not going to be hitting those big watts that we had on Tuesday, which we definitely hit, which was awesome. I love looking at the numbers after the fact and seeing you guys push the way it was meant to be done, Right now, nice and easy, 5 minutes. Let's just get the legs moving. Make sure you have your bike in that big ring in the front. Switch that cassette in the back. We're going downhill right now. So remember, you're going to feel the undulation of the course. Undulation is up on the upper right-hand corner. Right now, we're at minus 4%. We're descending at 4%. And in the middle of the screen, you'll see as some climbs or some ascents approach, pops up on the screen. Yeah, so the fun course, it's up and down, up and down. So we get to practice our real world riding, real world changing of gears, because what will happen once we get the main set, I'll set out a percentage effort, the cadence, and you do your best to hold that effort and cadence as the terrain goes up and down. You're on your TT bike, you'll get a lot of TT work on this one. They're 10-minute efforts, hence the name 10-minute efforts. We're going to settle in and knock out some good quality tempo time. Let's see how that heart rate aligns with the power at those efforts. We're going to work our Ironman effort, half Ironman effort, Olympic distance effort. So hopefully you'll see that heart rate work together with the power. And we're just going easy for now. So we're going uphill. Keep the gearing nice and easy. Keep the legs relaxed. Drive the knees, relax the lower leg. Don't crush yourself going up these hills at the start. Drive one knee down. Lift that opposite knee up. Let that pedal stroke work together. I like these real world rides where we have to think, we have to feel. Trainer isn't doing the work for us. We have to put the pressure to the pedals. All right, nice and easy for another minute. All right, in a minute, we're getting some 30-second pickups in. Just get the legs working. Nothing too crazy effort-wise. Just get the muscles rolling. Continuing that warm-up. The main set's 4 by 10 minutes. As I said, at varying paces, varying cadence. And we're going to hit some lower cadences on this one. So I want to make sure that posterior chain is working from the start. So lead with the heel, knees up and down, hips square to the front. Nice stability on that saddle. Now let's start picking up the cadence. Easy. No, don't worry about power. Worry about foot speed here. And 2, run. Bring that cadence up into the 90s. 30 seconds. Nice and light on the pedals. Let the knees provide the momentum. Generate the power, generate the strength. It all comes from the knees. Foot, ankle, calf. Super relaxed throughout the pedal stroke. 3, 2, 1. Spin it out easy, easy, easy. Back it down. I can do that again. Don't worry about power. Just worry about foot speed. Here in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Light on your feet. Very light pressure between the bottom of your foot and the pedal. Never stomping on those pedals. Smooth, relaxed pedal stroke. As we go uphill, shift it easier. Keep the cadence up. 3, 2. Very nice. All right, we're going to do 2 more of those. 2 down, 2 to go. Same thing. No stress on power. It's all about that foot speed. Hopefully you're moving faster. Repeat after repeat. 2, 1. Let's go. Try and get that cadence up into the 100s. As you feel that body loosen up, mind-body connection. Neuromuscular work. Bring that cadence up a little quicker. 2, 1. 1 to go. 30 seconds easy. We'll finish our last one. All right, this is the quickest foot speed of the 4. 3, 2, come on. Focus on the stability of those hips. Melt into your saddle, stabilize on the sit bones. No swaying, no bouncing. Three, 2, and back it down. 3.5 minutes easy. Keep going at the 12-minute mark. Just spin it out easy for now. Eli, what's up?
A little late start for me here, but nice of you to bring the ride to New York, to the East Coast for once.
Yeah, and I want everybody to adapt to that humidity a little bit.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable weather here. Rain, wind, and cold for this season.
Weird, it looks pretty nice in Central Park today.
Yeah.
Looks like it's raining, Eli, is it? Pouring down?
It's not raining right now, but
Well,
we've had a lot of rain.
All right, guys, in this recovery, we're going uphill right now, so let's keep it easy. Don't overcook the recovery. We're going until the 12-minute mark. We're going to start our first 10-minute effort. And I don't want you to blow your stack by powering up this 5-6% grade we're going to have during the recovery. So you can put in a little ring in the front, spin it out a little easier. We're going to stay together no matter what as the group. There's no breaking away here. Okay, he's not here to do that anyway, so let's keep it easy, follow the protocol to work out. So our first set is going to be 10 minutes, between 70 and 80% of threshold. So think about what your threshold is. Use your calculator, find 70%, 80%. Calculator is your brain. And we're going to bring the cadence way down, though. I know it's tougher to have the cadence down when you're free riding, but to consciously keep the cadence down in the hopefully 55 to 65 range. So we're getting a good muscular tension. So that means we have to shift those gears and be conscious of the cadence while we're holding that 70 to 80% effort. Start at 70%, build into it. We're still in our warm-up, right? First 20 minutes, 25 minutes might take that long to start feeling good. So start on the easier side, and that's why I'm giving you the range to be in that 70 to 80%. You don't have to be there right away. So we're going to have some ups, we're going to have some downs, just like life, right? Hour and 20-minute workout is just a reflection of life. All right, here we go. We're going to start in 15 seconds. So get back in that big ring in the front, 5%. You guys can stay in that big ring. And let's find that 70 to 80% effort. 2 and 1. We're going to be here for 10 minutes. Shifting the gearing accordingly. While we're focused on technique. Watching what the heart rate does. Staying on top of our hydration, taking our gel every 20 minutes. Not candy, gel. On the super steep section, you can get out of the saddle for a beat if you need to. Let's try and keep it in range. Remember, we practice pushing over the top, as we always do. You're going to feel the ascent, release, stay on the pedals. Here we go. Push over the top, shift the gear. Cadence stays on the lower side as we descend. It's harder to keep it low when you're descending, but put it in a bigger gear. And do the best you can, keeping that good muscular engagement. Hit effort 70 to 80% as we come downhill. We're not coasting. We're still putting the power to the pedals. Keep your knee drive up. And keep shifting those gears. Now we're going uphill. It's easier to find that low cadence. Good. That's how we shift the gears as we come over the top again. Here we go. Shift. 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 Cadence stays on the lower side. Effort stays in range. Feel any tension in the adductor Your knees are probably dropping into the top tube a little bit. You have any tension in the calf? Probably tensing that lower leg. Come on, stay on the pedals, guys. Drive the knees. Descent section, I don't care about the cadence. I care about the power staying in range. Now we're back to flat. When we go back to flat or a slight incline, and we can dial back into that super low cadence. You're on your TT bike, you can be knocking this out in that TT position. Low the feet. I want you to feel that muscular tension every pedal stroke when we're getting into that lower cadence. Drop the heel, scrape it under, pull it up, push it through the top. A lot of shifting, huh? Non-stop. There's so much undulation. It's great. It's like race day. Very rarely you'll find a super flat course. Shift the way we're doing here. You got to know the feel you're looking for. That's slower, bigger gear. Bending again, so just keep that power in range. Now as we go uphill, I don't want you just saying, oh, we've been descending a lot. I'm just going to keep the cadence up because that's what I'm used to. Go back to that lower cadence. Shift the gear, a bigger gear than you're used to allow you to bring that cadence down. Here for 4 more minutes. You know, we're focusing on all this effort management, cadence management. It's easy to lose focus on the knee drive or the upper body relaxation or the deep breaths. The mind constantly has to be engaged in the process. Effort management, feel, rhythm, and technique. Back to that big gear, slow cadence, 0%. We're flat. Shift it to a gear harder than you normally would. You're already in the biggest gear. Do what you have to do to keep that effort in range. All right, we're 8 minutes in. What's that heart rate look like? Should be about your 70% heart rate. We do all this work on these rides. These Thursday rides are about applying everything we've worked on into that real world feel. That's why we had such great success on the 3 times volcano climb last week. We know our feel. We know how to stay present, focus on the process. Stay on top of our nutrition throughout. Cadence up 15 seconds. Finish it in range, guys. Keep on the throttle. Three, two, back it down. Easy spin. Easy spin, guys. Of course, we're coming into a climb right as we end it. That's okay. Now it flattens out. Should be flat and descending for majority of this 3 minutes before we get into our second 10-minute effort. So for our second effort, we're gonna be 75 to 85%. So a little stronger, 10 minutes. And you're gonna find a good rhythm cadence-wise. Whatever that turns out to be. Maybe it's 70, maybe it's 75, maybe it's 80. It's up to you. But you try to keep that rhythm no matter the undulation of the course. That's taking mindful shifting. You're mindful of the feel. As you see, this is a rolling up and down, but there's not ever a point where it's so steep in a descent that we coast or we take our foot off the gas. We got to keep that pressure on the pedals all the way through. Keep it easy going up this hill. And because we've built the strength and the fitness we have, we were able to execute last week's workout to a T. So that shows we have a grasp of what we're doing here. We can apply everything we've worked on to the real world situation. So as we're running through this course, visualize yourself being outside. What would it feel like if you were out on the road executing this effort? It's very similar. I'm gonna go ride Mulholland later. It's gonna be the same thing, up and down, up and down. Never taking my foot off the gas. All right, so increase effort a little bit. Know that 75%, know that 85%, keep it in range. The cadence is up to you. I just want you to find a good rhythm and try and stick with that rhythm for 10 minutes. Dan Cortez, buddy. Call me Dan Cortez. 3, 2, 1. Big ring in the front. 75 to 85%. Remember Dan Cortez, MTV guy? Here, 25 to 35 on the clock. At first, it might feel a little foreign to put a little more pressure on the pedals in the last round. But you'll find the feel of that greater pressure and adapt to it as we progress through this effort. So it's a little minute, get out of your comfort zone by pushing a little more power. Like last week, I want to look at these efforts and see that second one, a nice step up from the first one. Not too drastic, but because we have the fitness and strength we do, we have good control over what we can do with that power. Good, 2 minutes in. Hopefully you guys are finding that rhythm. Well, we should be able to not even look at the screen, not even look at the undulation, know the feel, and be able to shift gears based on the feel. It's like swimming, right? A great swimmer doesn't have to look at the clock. They know that 70% effort, it's 130. 80% effort's 120. 90% effort's 110. There's no clock, there's no watch that they're watching while they're swimming. They just know the feel. We're the same way. We should know that feel. What's our Ironman effort? This is our half Ironman effort right here. Something we could hold for 56. All right, pressure to the pedals. Let's go. Come on. Cadence is going to come up. But you keep it 75 to 85% effort. Let's go. All about power on this one. I want you to hone into that power. Keep it in range. We get so focused on everything else, we forget. Keep that upper body relaxed. See some of those shoulders creeping up to the ears. Relax your upper body. Bring that weight back onto the saddle. Stabilize those hips. Shift the gearing to keep your rhythm as we go uphill. Keep the pressure on the pedals. Keep the focus. And don't fall into that climbing lull. After we get through the initial stage of a climb, you hit this lull where you're just like, oh, I just want to get up to the top. I don't care how long it takes. Stay on the pedals. Keep the pressure of the pedals. Quicker you get up, quicker the pain is over. Shift the gear to keep your rhythm. We'll get to this 8, 9, 10% section in a few seconds. Drive the knees straight up and down. Need to get out of the saddle, do it. And we're going to push over the top. Stay on the pedals. Keep the effort in range as we go downhill. Come on. Drive your knees. There we go. Shift. 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 Come on. No let up. This is where everybody else lets up. And we get up the race pace speed quicker than anyone, making every second count. Shift. Come on. Good. Every second counts. First thing you want to do at the top of a climb is relax. Don't. Here we go again. You get another opportunity. Punchy. Climb up. See a lot of these on race day. Over the top. Here we go. Drive the knees. Relax the lower leg. Shift. Come on. Keep it up. Shift. 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 Good. Here we go. That's how you do it. Thirty more seconds. Keep it right there. Think about that heel leading the pedal stroke. Heel down, under, up, through the top. Left foot, right foot. Three, two, spin it out. Good. All right, 3 minutes easy. We'll go to 38. Nice and relaxed. Bring it way down. Don't worry about the little climb we have, the little punchy ascent that's coming up. Keep it easy. You guys are doing great.
I'm thinking your plan of action here, and you don't have to say yes or no, or maybe would be fine answer. We're going to do 2 or 3 of these, and then you're going to say, okay, boys, girls, you're on your own. Or maybe.
Well, you want to race?
I want to do those friggin' 10-minute efforts again on your own. I thought that was great.
Well, we're going to switch the power through. We're going to change the power. Keep it easy, guys. I know it's steep right now. Keep it easy. So the next one, what we're going to do is we're going to start in that 80 to 90% range for 5 minutes. And then the back end 5 minutes, drop it down 70 to 80. So we're increasing the first 5 minutes slightly, and then bringing it back to that Ironman effort for the back 5 minutes. The first 5 minutes is about Olympic distance. Race pace. And your back 5 minutes is Ironman race pace. Finding that rhythm once again in your cadence. We'll start that in 1 minute. So keep it easy for another minute. But think about, okay, I know my 80 to 90 range is 200 to 220. I know 70 to 80 range is 180 to 200, whatever it might be. We want to know these going in so we can properly execute that output. Go from 38 to 48. All right, here we go. 80 to 90%. No matter the undulation. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Don't overcook it. Cap your upper end at 90%. Release the ankles, release the calf, drive the knees. We're constantly shifting those gears. Not taking 1 second for granted. Good, good focus, guys. I'm seeing some good flow happening. Focus is what you need to do come race day. We got to practice it here. You don't practice the focus it needs on a workout like this. and know what that feeling is. There's no way it's just going to happen on race day. Come on, you can keep the effort up. I know we're going down, but you gotta keep the pressure on the pedals every pedal stroke, and you can keep it in range. You take off one pedal stroke, you're gonna see that power drop drastically. It's burning money if that happens. Good, a little less than 2 minutes left at our 80 to 90% effort. Cadence up, keep the power up. Gotta focus to do it, but you can. Shift it easier. Stay on the pedals. Good, that's how we do it. Shift it harder, back on the pedals, come on. Drape those heels under the bottom. Don't forget, that's a quadrant. And push them through the top. Same thing, that's a quadrant. 2, 1, 70 to 80%. Drop the effort a little bit. Keep your rhythm. Big deep breaths. Over the top. Keep it in range. Shift harder. Shift the gear harder. Come on, keep shifting. You guys can thank Doug for that PR on the sprint. He pulled all you guys. Thanks, Doug. Stay on it, guys. Got 3 more minutes here. Doing great. Don't lose focus now. Now is the no man's land. Now is when your mind wants to wander. This workout here is more mental than it is physical. Gotta recognize the focus it takes. Sorry to keep harping on it, but I don't think enough of us feel this focus on race day when there's all the hubbub, got all that swim gear, taking care of your bike, making sure transitions are set up. Everybody's nervous, talking about the weather, the terrain, or the wind. It's really easy to fall out of this focus. But you got to keep coming back to it. Talking to Arlene yesterday about just doing run races and how it is just to show up with a pair of shoes, strap them on, and get after it. And it's nice from a logistical standpoint, but it's great from a focus standpoint. Not spending all this mental energy on the logistics. You have more mental energy to spend finding that focus on course because all you're worried about is tying your shoes. So I love doing running races in the midst of a triathlon season because it brings you back to that focus we need to have come triathlon time, because you can find it, but there's a lot of distractions trying to take that focus. All right, we're still 70 to 80%. Okay, on the pedals, let's finish it off. 15 seconds. Three, two, one. Good. Spin it out. 3 minutes easy. 48 to 51. 48 to 51. Eli,
Yes, sir.
have you ever found this type of focus on race day?
Yeah, actually, I think I have. You know, actually in my race in December in Indian Wells, I kind of started. I was all alone on the bike course, and I started looking at my power numbers and my speed, and I got in my head about it, and then I just said, "Wow, this feels easy." So rather than going by, you know, by the numbers, I went by feel, saying I should be pushing harder. And, you know, it's that perceived exertion it's kind of in flux, right? Because perceived exertion can change from day to day based on your overall, you know, how you're feeling. You know, where's your energy? How did you pre-fuel? What's the weather like? Those things can change. But if you can nail perceived exertion, that's going to be your best race day.
Yep. Well, we got to go with the ERG off occasionally on these rides, right? If you start just relying on that ERG to do the thinking for you, it's hard to learn what it is to apply pressure to the pedals on your own.
Yeah, I think sometimes in addition to ERG off, do some of these intervals or parts of these intervals as blind intervals, really nailing that perceived exertion. No reliance on the numbers.
Yep. I mean, you could do that here. We're going to do 5 minutes at 90%, 5 minutes, 70 to 80%. All right. So our 5 minutes, it's the strongest effort of the workout. And we followed it up with 5 minutes at Ironman effort. So Olympic distance, top end Olympic distance effort. Down the Ironman effort, 5 minutes at each. So let's hit it here in 10 seconds. Here we go. 51 to 101 is our interval. First 5 minutes at 90%. Should find it easily going uphill. 2, 1. Let's go. Come on. Big ring in the front. Shift the cassette in the back. Don't want to look at power. You want to go off a feel, do it. Check in on that power every minute if you want. Here we go. Pushing over. We know it by now. We know the protocol. Let's go. Come on, push. Shift. Watch that left knee. No wobble. Good stability. Same thing on the right knee. Shifting down, keep the pressure. And over the top, drive the knees, come on. Shift, shift. Let's go. Stabilize on the saddle so we can tell the knees what to do and have full control. There's too much wobbling on that saddle. You have less control of the knees to put out that power, to drive those pedals. Come on, make it count. We got 90 more seconds. At 90%. Bring that cadence up to get the number we need or the feel we need. Don't just settle. Come on. Finish it off. We got 30 seconds at this 90% effort. Don't say coulda, shoulda, woulda. Do it now. Yeah, that's how we do it. That's how we push over. 3, 70 to 80%. 2, 1. Stay on the pedals. Ironman effort. Let's drop the effort. Stay on the pedals. We don't let up for 1 second. We just vary the output. That's race day. Unless we're in a descent that causes us to spin out, we keep the pressure on the pedals. We just vary the output. Here we go. We're doing well, guys. I'm watching those watts per kg. Staying nice and steady. Release your ankle, relax your calf, wiggle your toes. Adding gears as you see fit. Make sure we're lifting up that heel on the left side, driving down that heel on the right side. Lift your right heel up the back. Drive your left heel down. Okay, on that cadence to keep the effort in range. Good. 1 minute. Come on. Shift the gear. Finish it out. As those heels come under the bottom, lift them up the back. Left heel, right heel. Good. 20 seconds. Keep it there. You guys doing well. Right in range. Perfect. Face is looking relaxed. Shoulders are looking relaxed. Three, two, one. Ease it up. Good. 3 minutes easy. There we go. That's how you do it. Who honestly is focused that hard or that deep on race day? Has anyone? That's what we need to do, guys. We can't take 1 second for granted. Our mind starts to wander. We got to bring it right back to that focus we had on each one of those 10-minute efforts. If we don't have that type of focus, we're not getting the most out of the performance. Is that what you wanted, Chris?
You know, you said something at the beginning of this, focus on the effort. And it's really hard in the morning when you wake up and you think to yourself, all the things that you have to do in one day, where you got to do this, got to go to get a car registration, I've got to go to the tax accountant. I've got like a string of things to do today. My 1 day off. But I think what you have to do is get in the mindset of going, hey, this is my hour and 20 minutes. I don't want any distractions. This is for me. And having focus on, everybody can focus for an hour and 20 minutes. Don't think about what you're having for breakfast. Just focus on the effort. And I got it. It's hard to do. I understand.
Exactly. And that's racing. That's race day too. Race day is your time.
Focus on the effort. So let me ask you a quick question.
Hang on 1 second. I want to back up to what you said. You said you have a day off.
Well,
I haven't had a day off since 2009.
Yeah, I know.
We're getting a day off for.
Yeah. Day off to catch up on crap I didn't do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
All right. What's your question?
So just this, for instance, a rainy Friday afternoon, you got nothing to do. Grey's Anatomy is not on yet. Talking to Leah.
Well, you've already watched the whole thing 5 times through.
Oh, shit. Would it be advisable to jump on the trainer and do the Gotham grind, Max?
That depends on the athlete. Everybody's different.
Oh, I know.
The training we're in. Someone is really like you. All right, guys, hold on. We'll 60 to 70%. Let's dial in here over the first couple minutes. Same thing. A lot less stress than we've been hitting, but you're in that 60 to 70% range here for 16 minutes. But someone like you, Christopher, who's crazy busy, running around all the time, you got a little extra time, I'm going to tell you, go relax. Put your feet up. Watch Grey's Anatomy. If you're someone who needs a little more aerobic fitness, we're doing a little extra work to build that aerobic fitness.
Mosley. Sorry.
Yeah, sometimes it's advisable. Get on and do a little extra work. As long as you're not overstressing the system and causing other workouts that are more important to suffer, you can get a little extra work in, but that's why running it by your coach is key, not just jumping on and doing it. Because if you're jumping on a Thursday to do extra work and you got a hard run workout on Friday,
yeah, it's not worth it.
And that extra work is going to limit your output on Friday's run. So it's a case by case basis.
So you hit another subject. You said on Tuesday's ride, you know what? It was Monday night. You said, screw it, I'm going to bed. 8:30, right?
Yeah. Did the same thing last night.
Yeah. I've been on some guys, and he's on there laughing at me right now. I can see him right next to you, about going to bed early, the importance of having a good night's sleep. And for the life of me, I cannot see someone staying up 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, and then expecting to have a good performance on 3 hours sleep. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah. It's hard, and you got to be realistic with yourself. If you haven't been sleeping because of work, kids, life, I still want you to get up and ride with us, get that motivation, but hey, got to be real with yourself. Do we have to scale back the effort? Feeling good? Maybe you're running on adrenaline, you get a good workout in. But Chris is just trying to say, if you have the opportunity to get some extra Z's, you do it. Why do we put Madeline and Mason to bed at 7 o'clock? Sure, for mommy and daddy time, but also they're growing. They need that sleep. Building those cells. We're no different. And our recovery is one of the best, in our sleep is one of the best recovery happens.
So true.
Body releases that HGH. All right, 60 to 70%. Cadence again is up to you. Make sure you're keeping it in range. Yep.
Especially going to bed. You know, Monday night, you've got a big ride. On Tuesday morning, a strong effort. Wednesday night, going to bed a little bit earlier, another strong effort. We don't have TV in our house, so it's easy for me to go to bed at 7:30.
Like you're camping every night.
Yeah.
Camping, you get so bored, the sun goes down. You get so bored, you do one bonfire. All right, I'm in bed. Go to bed at 6:30 p.m.
Kids were still playing outside, skipping, and see ya, I'm going to bed.
Best race, you go do Ironman Wisconsin. And then all the triathletes it's in Madison, where University of Wisconsin is. All the triathletes are walking the transition at 4:30, walking by the frat houses. Kids are still playing beer pong. Beirut, if you will. If you're on the East Coast, you call it Beirut. Partying, kids running around, playing grab ass. There's all these triathletes with one eye open. You know what I did, Chris? Jumped in there to one of the frat houses, took a shot of tequila.
Doing a beer bomb at 4:30 in the morning.
Loosened up a little bit.
And smoking a bowl. What's wrong with that? Are you riding with Uncle David this morning? The wise
Uncle
man?
David and Uncle Johnny.
Uncle Johnny and Uncle David.
8:45 a.m. Clipped in, ready to go. Running on the treadmill yesterday at the gym. And in the court, there's a big window looking out of the basketball court. Kevin Durant was shooting with his coaches. He got about 5 coaches out there. Basketball player Kevin Durant. And he took a shot from the same spot. I was running for an hour. Probably 45 minutes straight. He took the same shot. Over and over and over and over. And then he moved next door. Same shot. 45 minutes. Over and over and over. So he's not only practicing what the feel is from that position and ingraining it into his muscle memory. Imagine the mental focus it takes. Sure, you do it 5 times, 10 times. But you do that 45 minutes straight from the same position. and make it pretty much every damn time. An immense amount of mental focus. He's elite of the elite. World champion, gold medalist, all-star every year. He doesn't take it for granted. He's still shooting from the same spot for 45 minutes straight. I'll tell you, that guy's legs are like toothpicks. How those things withstand the stress of an NBA season.
I have a treadmill question for you too. When you did your workout yesterday on the treadmill, what did you do? What was your mindset? I know you always go on the treadmill for a workout with a plan. You don't just go on and sway your arms from side to side. You're focused. I know that. What do you do? What's your plan?
I always do hill work on the treadmill. Always. The treadmill is not just a thing to get your legs moving when you don't want to go outside. It's an amazing tool to build your cadence and your ability to keep the foot speed up no matter the terrain. So I'll set you might look at Strava and be like, oh man, he just ran 5 miles in an hour. He must have had an easy day. What you don't see is when I'm in the treadmill, first off, the altitude is simulating 10,000 feet. That's putting an immense amount of stress on your aerobic system. But then I'm also, depending on the workout I choose to do, varying the incline the entire time while keeping the foot speed the same. I don't put the incline at 8 and drop the speed to 4. My speed's at 7. When it's 1%, I keep that speed at 7 at 8%.
Which is a 650-minute mile?
I don't know. So I'm just using numbers as example, but because you're keeping that same foot speed as you increase the incline, you're ingraining this drive and this cadence. So when it flattens out, you have that cadence and that drive on flat terrain, you're going to go even faster. So it's a tool to work the cadence, work the power under the load, under the stress of going uphill.
So I'll tell you why I asked you that question, because the last couple of weeks, everybody knows here I have a gym and I've got 3 treadmills. I've had a couple of athletes come over the gym. One in particular, he doesn't think he can run a 10-minute mile. He's very new. He doesn't have an athletic background, actually plays in a band, but hungry for information. So he said, I wanted him to do a local 10K a couple of weeks ago, which he did. Didn't break 10 minutes for a mile, which is okay. He doesn't have the confidence. He doesn't know how to figure this out. So this is what started it off. Went over the treadmill, 10, 15-minute warm-up. And then we gradually got to a running pace, which was probably a 7 or 8 on a treadmill, nice and flat. And I wanted him to get his heart rate, the distance, or the effort, and the feeling, all 3 together. He did not know. So we started off and he was running 10. We upped the little pace a little bit, and then up the pace a little bit more. And then he was running 9:40 for like 5 minutes. His heart rate was at 140, which was perfect. So now he has the confidence to go out there and run the 10K, and he's going, oh, look, my heart rate's at 140. And I've done it with several athletes. They've all come over, Dane, a few more have come over. It's a great test to have it in your head that you know what you can do.
Well, it forces you to move your feet too. A lot of people, it's just like on this workout that we did. We went from 70% to 80%. The first couple minutes of 80% is foreign. It doesn't feel right. It feels like, oh, I'm moving a little too fast. But then you adapt to that output and you realize that's not too bad. The treadmill forces you, like you did your guy, to move a little faster than you're used to, that you're accustomed to. Get out of your comfort zone. And you realize, oh, you know what? I can move my feet this fast. I've never done it before.
Yeah. So I've got Leah coming over this Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. I'll have some footage for you that we can share with the rest of the group on doing a treadmill workout and finding out what your 10K pace is. She's a good athlete. She's a good runner. She's going to be 6:30, 7 minutes.
But like you said, with the treadmill, you don't just start at that pace. If you're doing a 10K on a treadmill, you got to build down to it. Let the feet slowly adapt to the foot speed as the pace descends. A lot of times an athlete will run around a 10K in a treadmill at 6:30, get on at 6:30 pace. They'll last a mile and peter out. They didn't give their body time to slowly adapt to the increase in foot speed. They just hit it. When we're out on the road, we naturally do that. We take it out and we build our foot speed over the course of the first quarter mile, half mile. Treadmill, it's really easy just to get on and get the legs moving, but you're just setting yourself up for failure. So if Leah wants to start, if she wants to run 6:30 pace, I can start around 8-minute pace.
Oh yeah, just you gonna be start walking.
Slowly descend. So by a mile, mile and a half in, she's found that 6:30 to 7-minute pace. And from there, she can refine it even more so.
Yeah. So another thing, before I finish here, talking about treadmills. Said to a guy last night, he was at the gym, a different gym. And I said, what'd you do? And he goes, oh, I just went on the treadmill. I go, what did you do on the treadmill? Oh, just running. What's the point? You got to have a plan. You got to have a focus. Got to think about what you're going to do. Just running on the treadmill and watching Jeopardy is a complete waste of time.
Well, also, it's low value work, but also it's boring. See, if you go into it with a plan, hey, even if your plan is, I'm going to keep my heart rate 130 to 140. I don't care what the pace is. At least you have something to focus on. Because if you just get on and say, I'm just going to run for an hour, make it 30 minutes, be like, screw this, I'm done. It's boring. So not only will you get more bang for your buck, you'll get something out of it. You have something to focus on, somewhere to put that mental energy when the going gets tough or the going gets long.
It's exactly the same thing at the pool. You got a guy that goes over there and you'll see him. I see him every Monday. They write their workout up, slap it on the kickboard, put it on the edge of the deck, and they know what they're doing. Not going over there and just swimming. They have a plan.
Just join Chris's workout.
Yeah, really enjoy Saturday's workout. Ooh.
I don't think we can fit any more people in the pool.
Oh my God.
Also, treadmill, you always want at least a 1% incline. You never want to run flat. 1% is flat. Unless you're working on like downhill type running. But if you have 1% incline on the treadmill, that keeps that posterior chain engagement where you're pushing off and pressing and moving forward. A flat treadmill is good for foot speed, speed work. If you're working on what, like Chris said, someone gaining confidence. Once you have that confidence and you're used to working on the treadmill, you want to keep it at 1% at least at all times to keep that push off the back. Otherwise, the belt takes too much of that momentum. The time and place for everything. But that's just the standby for athletes who've been running on a treadmill for a while. But awesome work, guys. Way to dial in, know the feel. Really, debrief with yourself on the focus it took throughout this workout to stay on point. And that's the focus we need when we're on course racing. And if you don't have it, you're just shortchanging yourself. So amazing work, guys. We'll see you next week. Be safe this weekend. Love you guys. Bye.